EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us about 20 miles south of downtown L.A. at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Green Bay Packers and our home team. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready? Blue ready. Line 59. Hey, here I come. The
second-year man from USC, this is Ronald Jones. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 3rd down, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at their own 46. Here's Benny Snell Jr., the rookie from Kentucky. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Line 17. Quit talking about it and bring it.
Now Breeze. Looking downfield for Jones. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, L.A. Marvin Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
From the 31, Winston. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And out across midfield down to the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Jameis to throw it. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Wait. Mine's 59. Mine's 59. Get that one.
Again, it's Winston. Got him, man. That's Trent Sherfield. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 29-yard line.
A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Green Bay.
Mike. Ready. Flag. What do you got? That's the run. Flip. Check 59. Mike is 59. Boom.
Winston now to throw on first down. Touchdown, Packers. Chris Godwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Ready.
The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
6 guys. Check 6. 21. Hey, orbit. 17.
Here's Breeze. Space to maneuver at the 40. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. As they finally wrangle him in at the 48. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Ready. 95-56. Let's make these babies hot.
They'll go with Snell here on first down. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, it's Snell. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
He was taken down at the 50-yard line. A 1-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 8.
7-7, our score after 1.
The score tied 7-7.
Ready. 5-8. Hey, kill. Let me know right now. You better bring. Tighten up. Hey, kill.
Here's Snell on third down. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. We've now seen 3 consecutive 1-yard gains, and it brings up fourth down. Breeze to throw for it on fourth. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The fourth down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Running right, Jones. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. Third and long for Winston. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Cameron Hayward able to record his 5th sack of the season. Third and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
They're going to try for it on fourth. Winston stays out there. They're indeed going. It's Winston. Looking downfield for Godwin. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. And predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position.
Ready. Yellow ladies, you kill. Come on, get set, get set. Watch the run, watch the run. 25.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Benny Snell, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken short. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence.
And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. To throw on 2nd and 6, Winston. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. 9 yards the pick up there, and it's a first down. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Looking for Campbell downfield. And that's going to be intercepted. It's the all-pro safety, Derwin James. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on second down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
On second and a couple. Breeze. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Jeffrey Simmons in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning.
Sack, baby! Sack, baby!
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. On the return is Pettis. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10.
Ready? Black, what is that? Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Easy. Green, come with me. Let's go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it's a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Cleveland Farrell able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And the pressure gets to him again. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
Watch out.
Breeze going to throw. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. An update now from Oakland. The Raiders are out to an early lead, and we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. Working out of the gun, Winston. Looking for Campbell downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. There defensively was Buster screen to knock it away. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. Looking for Campbell downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. There defensively was Buster screen to knock it away. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Winston. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half here. Winston looking for Campbell downfield. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Hey, Zoo.
Mike 17. Mike 17. Here we go. Mike 17.
Now on 2nd and 13. Breeze. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Jonathan Hankins. Here's Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. Now, bottom line, tremendous starting field position really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They'll get this out wide to Boyd. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. First down Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing now is Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on first down, Breeze. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
Now they go screen. It's complete. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Oh, he won a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes.
And Jameis is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Snell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Oh, look at the juke. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run on first down. Snell stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
At the 24-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Check 26, check 26.
Breeze now to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter.
Under 10, under 10.
Trying to run for it with Snell. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. On first down, it's Snell again. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Jones has it. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Here's Breeze to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange.
And that's going to be intercepted. It's the all-pro safety, Derwin James. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. On first down, Snell. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Not today. Check 24. Check 24. Shoot. 28. Ready, check.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Derwin James, an all-pro as a rookie last year, up from his safety spot to make the tackle. They'll go again to Jones. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Looking for Campbell downfield. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Winston to throw for it on fourth. And no, it's incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position.
Ready, double waiting.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
On 2nd and 1, Breeze. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
11. 15's the mark.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
17. Try to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
11.
17's Mike. Mike's.
Hey, Echo.
I'm coming after you. Mike's.
Second down and goal. Breeze. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Dallas Goedert, his second touchdown on the season. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Josh Allen picks up his second sack of the afternoon. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Ready. Back, 25, behind.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
To throw is Winston. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Check, 59. Let's go, D.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ballgame. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. They'll try the right side with Jones. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. So for the home team here, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year.